Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Hi, Warriors. Here we are on Wednesday, and what a short memory the market has. So if you cover up the last couple of days in the SPY, when we had this very quick reversal based on Paul's comments, and then we gap lower to leave an island, we moved sideways Monday, tried to recover on Tuesday. The high of the day on Tuesday using the SPY was 591. The low on Friday was 592.65, so the island top is still intact. If we continue to roll over and we start pressing the lows from yesterday, this market is vulnerable. Of course, everything's going to hinge on what happens with NVIDIA's earnings. I think that's going to make the market. Even if they have decent numbers, the reaction is going to be more important than the report. If they have decent numbers and the market sells off, that's really a serious market tell. Anyway, the reversal week that we had last week is still intact. Right now, we're, you know, being tested. I think that there's a lot of complacency in the market. The narrative most people are saying is we're okay. Things are really shaping up for a year-end rally. And you know what? If we make new highs, they're right. But first, they have to fill this gap that was left on Friday, and so far unable to. And with really U.S. households never being more net long stocks than they are now, I think we're set up for what could be a feast for bears that may start into Thanksgiving, the expression being the bears feast on Thanksgiving and the bulls on Christmas. I have some cycles due, I don't know, around the 7th or 8th, and some other people whose work I respect are pointing towards that day and time of month in December as well. This whole thing could take until January to play out, or until President Trump is installed. So I'm pretty bearish. I took some positions in Google on this failing rally. I'm also short Apple and short indexes. So I have my stops in if things change. So here's a quick look at, yeah, here we go. So here's Google, shorted it yesterday. Here's my target, 130, of course, one step at a time. Right now, I'm looking at this as being a failing rally. We did not negate the reversal week from last week. In fact, yesterday's high is the off number. So I've taught the off number before. All you have to do is count back, be able to count to two. So the off number for Google this week was the close from 2 weeks ago. And that close was 179.86. And yesterday's high was 20.20 above it. So basically, we had an off number rejection. If we close under that by Friday, you're going to have a nice 2 week reversal after a failing rally. Apple, you know, I don't see anything that positive in Apple. It hasn't made a new high. I'm not saying it can't, but here are some targets I have for Apple if I'm right about the market. Initially 200, and then possibly back to the confluence here on the weekly towards 170. So we'll see what happens. And the fact that the market is lower with Bitcoin continuing to scream to the upside, albeit with divergence, um, my theory that they're both going to top together. So, we're not that far away from 100,000. We'll see what happens, but the market isn't taking its cue from Bitcoin. That's for sure. So let me address the dollar now. First of all, here's the beach ball. Yesterday when I was on with you guys and it shorted it on Monday, I took partials. While I was on the air with you guys, I said I took partials. I'm going to pull my stop down to above this high, which got taken out. So again, it was another probe, partials, and then break even stop, protect. And I talk about how I did yesterday, how markets could wear you down. So here we are again. You know what? I'm going to keep probing it. So now I'm short again from earlier in the day with stops over the high. And I want to talk about the euro. And I'm going to talk about it in fundamental terms. Of course, the market doesn't look good. I'm still looking for 109 in Dixie. The pullback couldn't even get back to the breakout that we had yesterday. The low is 106. We didn't get down to 570. Looks like we're getting ready to go for new highs. Now, my whole reason for being short the yen is I think it's going to come down on risk off. So that's part of the equation. And then we'll see. I still think that we might be peaking up here in the 10-year, which won't be bullish for yen. But I want to talk about the euro. And we all know about the escalation in Ukraine with President Biden giving them the green light to use these. And I know I've talked about it. The narrative is Putin doesn't have to do anything because in a couple of months, when President Trump is installed, he'll probably get most of what he wants anyway. But I keep coming back to that interview I saw with Kissinger. So if he does de-escalate through escalation, it's going to be messy. And I know it sounds very rudimentary, but the dollar is getting safe haven flows because Europe is more nervous about this than we are, even though missiles can cross oceans. But as far as a land war, they've gone through it a few times and they know what storm clouds look like. And Finland and Sweden are warning their citizens about this. So what you have right now is just a move to safety based upon the escalation, not interest rate differentials, not Fed policy, just as we reach a crescendo over the next couple months before the new administration, it's like all bets are off and anything can happen. And that's part of the weakness in the euro. I think it's really the tensions that are escalating in Eastern Europe. Gold continues. This too was called. So this break was called in the gold. You could go back many videos. In fact, I did it on Real Vision as well. So I was looking for 2,400, but I did point out we were almost back at the breakdown. It was ripe for recovery. We're still in recovery mode. Maybe we go to 2,680. Maybe this turns out to be the bottom. But what tells me it may not be is a relative weakness in silver compared to it. And I'm not, when I was talking about a low here in silver, I thought we could trade 32, maybe 32 and a half. And we still could. But I'm still looking for one more low. I don't feel like I've going to miss anything in the miners. In fact, I don't think we have this big low in silver and gold until the dollar peaks. We'll see where the metals are at when the Dixie is 109. Also, when you're in gold shares, a lot of people bought them emotionally much higher. And at the next 30 days, they could also fall victim to tax loss selling. I do want to take another victory lap on nat gas. Okay, last week I talked about pulling into the gap and not filling it was bullish. I was wrong if it filled the gap. Look at this. And we're on the verge of a major breakout in nat gas. I'm still not bullish crude WTI, still looking for 62, but this is a different animal. And there you go. So Was talking about it down here and especially down here before the gap. So we're on the verge of a major breakout in that gas, and I'll leave it with that, and hope that you're learning the psychology of trading, not just signals, but how you have to be in a peak performing state mentally to do this, and you have to be tough, and you can't let Mr. Market wear you down by taking you out of trades before what you're looking for happens, and then most likely without you. Keep swinging the bat with managed risk. And wish everyone have a great trading day today. Be very careful with risk. They're really getting on the S&Ps even during the broadcast. We've taken out another 10. And when you look at an intraday chart of the S&Ps, this was a pretty weak recovery. I'm not saying we can't hold here and then try and recover again, but we start taking out this 5840, then you're talking 5740, 5740 or 720. So right now, this looks like a failing rally to me. We'll see if who could save it. I think we have some inflation news coming at the end of the week. But you guys know that I'm a believer in this island top until it's no longer an island. And that's going to take 592 on the SPYs for that to happen. I think we're going to challenge this moving average and head lower and have a rocky December. Those are my calls. I'll see you in the room. You have any questions, you can leave them under the video. Any comments, feel free to share them. And remember, most of all, don't just count your pips, count your